Okay, so when you hear the word Dubai, what pops into your head? I bet it's all about those futuristic skyscrapers, insane luxury shopping, maybe those man-made islands, right? But what if I told you that one of its most important cultural hearts is beating away in a dusty industrial neighborhood? That it was born from steel warehouses and just pure creative will? Today, we are diving into the incredible, unlikely story of Alserkal Avenue, a place that's totally rewriting the rules for what a cultural hub can be in the 21st century.
No, really, think about it for a second. Is it the Burj Khalifa scraping the sky? The giant malls? Hey, I get it. That's the postcard image we all know. But that's just one tiny part of the story. Because tucked away from all that sparkle is a place that challenges every single one of those stereotypes.
So yeah, you've got the iconic, perfectly planned cityscape that looks like it's from the future. But then, you've got the Quoz industrial area. For years, this place was all about labor camps, car repair shops, and huge storage units. I mean, not exactly a tourist destination. And yet, it's right here, in the middle of all the grit and the grind, that Alserkal Avenue somehow became Dubai's #1 cultural district.
So how does that even happen? How does a bunch of warehouses turn into the absolute epicenter of art and creativity for an entire region? Let's get into it.
And this right here is the whole idea behind Alserkal Avenue. It's what makes it so cool. This isn't some polished, sterile museum district built from scratch. Nope, it's a living, breathing part of the city's industrial machine, just repurposed. It's been transformed into this amazing haven for contemporary artists, designers, and big thinkers. What's really fascinating is how it all got started. See, this wasn't some grand plan from the city government. It was something that happened almost by accident, a totally organic movement that grew from the ground up. It all kicked off back in 2007. A few forward-thinking galleries had this light bulb moment. These massive, high-ceilinged warehouses, they were perfect and affordable blank canvases. Then, as you can see, 2008 was a huge turning point. Ayam Gallery, a major player in contemporary Syrian art, moved in. The next year, another influential gallery, Carbon 12, followed suit. You could feel this little creative community starting to form, all drawn in by the raw potential of the space. By 2012, the momentum was just undeniable. And this is where the story pivots. It goes from being this accidental scene to a full-blown intentional destination. This organic cluster had caught the attention of the compound's founder, and he saw the potential to build something really special. And here's that vision. In his own words, Abdelmonem bin Issa Alserkal didn't just want to rent out warehouses. He saw a chance to create a cultural district with the same vibe as London's Shoreditch or New York's Meatpacking District, places that were also once industrial zones that were totally transformed by artists. So he decided to lean into what was already happening and just turn up the volume. And turn up the volume he did. The decision was made to literally double the size of the complex. They added a massive 76,200 square meters. The idea was to build out all the right infrastructure, more spaces, cafes, a big event center to take this accidental art hub and make it a true destination. All right, so let's fast forward to now. What does it actually feel like to walk through Alserkal Avenue today after all that work? It is constantly buzzing. This is just a little snapshot of the kinds of exhibitions you might stumble upon any day of the week. You've got everything from beautiful Persian artistic traditions at Leila Heller Gallery to incredibly powerful photography at Gulf Photo Plus. The whole avenue is just this living ecosystem of diverse, challenging, and amazing art from the region and way beyond. Now, right at the heart of this expanded avenue is an architectural masterpiece called Concrete. And this isn't just any old building. It was designed by the legendary Rem Koolhaas's firm OMA. The outside is this really cool spray-on concrete with bits of mirror in it. And inside, get this, these massive walls can pivot and slide, letting the entire space completely transformed for anything from an art show to a Fashion Week event.
And here's the most important part. It is not just about visual art galleries. You can go catch an indie film at Cinema Akil, see a play by a local troupe at the Junction Theater, take a painting class at the Jam Jar, or honestly, just grab a coffee at one of the awesome cafes. It's a complete, well-rounded creative community.
So Alserkal definitely has the hardware. You know, the cool buildings and the amazing art. But what truly makes it work, what makes it successful, is the software, the community, and all the support systems it's built. And you can actually see that software working when you look at the numbers. Check this out. According to one study, Alserkal Avenue has an 85% occupancy rate for its ground floor spaces. That is way higher than other, more top-down planned creative districts in the city. It just goes to show you there's a real powerful demand from the creative community to be right here.
And this survey just drives that point home. When creative entrepreneurs in Dubai were asked, hey, where would you want to set up your business? Alserkal Avenue was the #1 answer. So this isn't just a place people like to visit. It's where the city's creative class wants to work and build their dreams.
A huge piece of that puzzle is the Alserkal Arts Foundation. Think of it as the nonprofit engine that powers the whole avenue. It actively helps grow talent through artist residencies, it funds these amazing public art projects you can see all over the district, and it hosts workshops and talks that make cutting-edge ideas accessible to everybody. It's a true investment in people, not just in buildings. So, what's the big takeaway from this incredible story of transformation? Well, it brings us to a really fundamental question about how culture actually develops in a city. The journey of Alserkal Avenue is so fascinating because it's a hybrid. It started with that raw, organic, grassroots energy, just artists and gallerists trying to solve their own problem by finding cheap space. But then, it was supercharged by this top-down visionary plan that gave it the infrastructure and support it needed to really flourish on a huge scale. It's like they found the secret sauce, the best of both worlds.
And that leaves us with this final thought to chew on. The story of Alserkal Avenue seems to suggest that maybe the answer isn't either-or. Maybe the strongest, most resilient cultural hubs are the ones that aren't just built, but are carefully grown by listening to the community on the ground and then building the framework to help them truly thrive. What do you think?